Pat Toes will be out this week and will be week to week. We'll take a look at him every week to see how he is progressing. Tay Nellens is day to day, Mikey Benton's day to day, Lowry's day to day, and Corey Brown is day to day. And John Crop did not show up for treatment today, so we expect him to be ready to go this week. Again, we got another opportunity going into a hostile environment. Team that's playing really well offensively. They're second in the league in passing, 300 yards per game. Scored 11 touchdowns passing. The fifth in total offense, 409 yards. Got one of the nation's top passers in Tyler Wilson. One of the top receivers in our conference, Kobe Hamilton, who's leading the league in receiving yardage. Two great backs, in the Davis and Johnson kid. And defensively, have one of the top tacklers in Highsmith and one of the lead sack guys in Flowers. So again, another opportunity for us to go on the road to play a really good football team.
Did it turn out that Toles had a high ankle sprain? Or?
Yes. Doesn't require any surgery. It's a high ankle sprain. It just depends on how fast he heals.
Coach, I know you would rather have a victory on Saturday, but when you went back and looked at the tape, it's, at least from what I saw, it looked like a lot of the young people have really stepped up and played great.
They are. We got, because a lot of those young guys are playing some exciting ball. Again, there's going to be mistakes made when you play guys that are freshmen playing for the first time. We played two more freshmen this past week, a total of 14. But if you look across, all of them making plays. I mean, it's hard for you not to watch those guys play and not get excited about them. It starts with the punter. The punter is one of the best we've had around here in a long time in terms of being a freshman. A couple of receivers, and then you're starting to see the two Blaylocks show up a lot and now getting time to play. We actually played Zach for the first time. In 23 plays, he had 4 tackles. So he's a player also. The problem has been with him is he was injured early in the preseason and then got injured again when we were about to play him, and then was back healthy, and he made some plays for us. All three of those corners, young corners, cannot be but excited about those guys. All three of those guys are challenging receivers and doing some good things. 2 linebackers. You hadn't seen a lot of Mobley, but when you've seen him, he's done well in moving the pile and taking care of the football. He's now playing a lot of special teams. When you see our punt team go out, our punt return team, who's probably been one of the bright spots of our special teams. Our special teams has been solid, but you look at the punt return team. This week there will be 10 freshmen on the punt return team, and the sophomore will be doing the returning. So can't help but get excited about watching those guys.
Joker, did J.D. Harmon have X-ray today or something? He tweeted about having an X-ray.
I mean, it's new to me, which this season it probably could be true, but no, that would be new to me.
Could Toles still get this year back? Is that your understanding?
Yeah, if he's unable to return, yes, he could apply for medical hardship.
What about in a couple of weeks? He's healthy enough to play, but you just elect not to.
Well, again, it's just if he's unable to return, and then that would be, we could hold him until he's unable to return. But I mean, it's something that we have to discuss with his family, and compliance, just to make sure everything's in order. And I have talked to him, told him we'll do what's best for him first, and that's what we need to do. That's what we're about.
Rick said Coach Mentor said after the game that they were down to 6 healthy players in the secondary. Is that, by your count, is that what we're looking at?
I mean, well, you got the 3 freshmen and Cartier at the corner position after that game. You had two Blaylocks, and Eric Dixon. So we're down to about seven guys.
What goes through your mind when you hear something like that?
Next guy up. I mean, nothing goes through my mind. I mean, it's just part of the game. It's going to happen. I'm not one of those woe is me guys. We expect the next guy to come up and play good football for us.
Coach, is this the most you've had to say next guy up?
Say it again?
Is this the most you've had to say next guy?
In this position, yeah. But, I've been through this, again, 2005, it was the same way. Most of those were surgeries, and someone said, well, it wasn't any significant, there wasn't any players that mattered. John Connor didn't matter, Keenan Burton didn't matter. There were some really good football players for us, and we have some now that are good football players that are out right now. But again, it's part of the game. We've had to move people around before and won some of those games. So we expect that to happen this year.
Joker,
When you say week to week, did the doctors give you any hope that he would be physically able
Well,
to play?
kids hard, they heal differently. Some heal faster than others. I never would have thought that the two tackles would have played. They haven't missed a play. Barry Miller and Mitchell, and also Zach West. Zach West hurt being the shoulder, but there's two high ankle sprains that we got from our two tackles. Now, they don't have to move around as much as a quarterback or a receiver or a running back or defensive back, but those guys didn't miss a snap. So guys heal differently, and we'll have to wait and see with toes.
Joker, I know most of these look like kind of just freak things. I mean, Max has a 350-pound guy go down on his ankle, but is there any, with all these injuries, do you look at all at the strength and conditioning or
No,
the shape
I mean,
these guys
those
are in?
things, those things happen. Again, it's how he landed, again, I told him that don't fight. There's no need, when a guy bear hugs you, you're not in high school. You're not going to shake those guys off. That guy was grabbing him this time last year. Probably 150 pounds, and he could do that, But this year, the guy's a 300 pounder, and go down gracefully. You got to learn how to fall.
Lowry, I guess that's 2 head injuries for Lowry. Are we still looking at concussion-like symptoms, or is it something? And could he be out for the season because of that?
Again, that's we're taking precautionary. Results as far as making sure that we know that he's ready to go. We're not going to put him out there if he can't, can't perform at a high level. That's what he's about. It's been tough on him. I think because of the same injury came about. I think it might have happened in the first play, kickoff. So that's the thing that we're taking a long look at, making sure that we don't put him out there unless he's healthy. 100%.
What are the injuries on Benton and Brown?
Benton is an ankle. His happened late in the fourth quarter, and Brown is a hamstring from 2 weeks ago. He did not play last week.
Joker, with Morgan being the backup now, obviously he has shoulder problems. Is his shoulder as good as it's going to be?
At this point, yes. There's not much rehab you can do now. Thick, again, he just needs to, continue to throw and get comfortable in throwing all the routes. But there's not much you can do as far as rehab for him. He's as good as he'll be. Again, he's got to be the backup with us only having 2, and then we'll take on the road with us a young redshirt freshman, a true freshman, another true freshman with room. So we'll have 3 quarterbacks there. Got 3 guys that two that have played and one that has not played. But we just feel like we have to take the room with us to help us get out of the game possibly.
Joker, when you talk about
I know last week Randy had 3 quarterbacks in his quarterback warm-ups, and none of them were shaved except for Drew. He's been shaved since the 6th grade. So.
Joker, when you talk about playing a true freshman quarterback, you say he might know 10, 15% of the offensive order, but on the defensive side, when those kids are in, What do you feel comfortable about and what worries you most?
Are the young guys that we,
The true fresh on the defense.
you don't feel comfortable about anything, but you know, you gotta, you know, we signed them, you know, we signed them to come here and play. We knew we were going to play some of those freshmen anyway, you know, especially in the secondary. We lost one for academics, but after that, we didn't have any of those. So we expected all three of them to play. We didn't expect them to be starters this early in the season, but they are. And you know, we just again throw them out there and let them play. And you know what? I've enjoyed watching those guys. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, those three guys that went in there and played. I mean, they made some big hits for us. They've challenged some receivers. You know, Cody Quinn is now playing like he's a sophomore. You know, because of the amount of reps that he's got. You know, Tiller came up, made some big plays, big hits for us last week. JD's got his hands on a few balls. These two Blaylock kids, those guys, you know, I'm excited to watch those guys play. They come up and strike people, so you get excited to watch them play.
So what are the difficulties with playing freshman defenders? What are the things that you get concerned about?
Well, all the different shifts and motions and all the different looks that you get, those things concern you. We've got to do a really good job of preparing those guys, preparing them for all the different looks. And then, you know, you got a veteran quarterback that we're about to play. There is no young quarterbacks in this league, you know, except for here. But, you know, the rest of our schedule, everybody else has veteran quarterbacks. So we just got to get them prepared the best we can as far as understanding the different formations that they'll see. This is a veteran receiver group also. Although they did lose 3 receivers last year to the draft, they still got some really quality receivers that are playing at high levels. Kobe Hamilton's playing real well for them and leading the league in receiving yardage.
Chuck, is there anything different about when you're recruiting twins or coaching twins or anything like that that's unusual or just plain different?
Yeah, you got to say things twice to them. You know? I mean, you know, Zach was really not the talkative guy. He's more the shy one, and Darren's the talker. And so one of the things we did throughout this recruiting process, we wouldn't call Zach. You know, we would call Darren's phone because Zach didn't always answer his phone. You know, and it wasn't us. It was just he just didn't. You know, when I call you, you don't answer it every time. You know,
Well, sometimes.
so he just don't want to talk. You know, but the thing we did do is we called Darren. Darren would answer every time and say, "Is Zach there?" Yeah, put him on the phone. So now he's got no choice but to talk to you. You know. But that was one of the different. But you know, usually twins are are close enough that you know that they want to go to the same place. We were creative and understanding who we needed to talk to. And the one we needed to talk to was Darren. He could sell Zach, and then that's what happened.
Joker, can you talk about the challenges and maybe the frustration of having had to almost completely reinvent yourself offensively numerous times since about this time last year?
Yeah, I mean, we've had to be creative, you know, and some of it's been in a real short week. One week we had 3 days, but again, we went into the season after the first 2 games, thinking we had a chance to be pretty good offensively with the way our quarterback was playing. Our receivers were playing really well. We thought that our running game was, we had ran the ball with our tailback running game. It was averaging about 5 yards a carry. So we felt pretty good about our offense, and we thought that our defense would continue to improve with all the young guys that they were playing. And now, we've had to change a lot of what we had done in the off season with the way we were playing. We're still trying to play with the tempo, but you're not seeing a lot of the same formations. You're not seeing as much of the same routes that we saw early. So again, we got a veteran staff that understands how creative we have to be to get this thing done. Now we've been limited a little bit in what we can do offensively, and then it started last year. It actually started Hartline's senior year. I mean his junior year, which was Morgan's freshman year. We changed a lot from. Hartline was playing at a pretty high level. We thought going into this, after doing the South Carolina game and throwing the ball well, and and he goes down. Now we have to become more of a run-oriented team and try to throw the ball down the field instead of some of the intermediate and quick games. So we've had to change a lot, but that's the game. We accept the challenge.